right, time to meet our guest. And Pat tells me that she has been here before.
Correct.
Carolyn Stifler, nice to meet you. Good morning. Nice to meet you today. Gotta get real nice and close to this microphone, okay? Real close. Don't mean to scare you with it.
Okay, thank you.
Gotta be able to hear you.
Thank you very much for having me today.
Yeah, president of the GRAR, the Greater Rochester Association of Realtors. I was doing some research on your website, and the GRAR is dedicated to enhancing professionalism, providing resources and education for realtors, and positioning of your members for success. Every time I see the word realtor on the website for the GRAR, there's always little R's with a circle around it, registered trademark. Why and what is that? Why and what is that all about?
Why and what is that all about? Well, that means that we belong to the National Association of Realtors, and that is our trademark. There are licensed agents in the country and even in New York State that do not belong to the association, whether it be local or national. So that is a national code. We stand by a strict code of ethics as well, and we have continuing education in ethics training.
So a realtor may not be an actual realtor.
That's
I just
correct.
can't call myself, if I sell one house in the neighborhood, I'm not automatically a realtor.
Well, you are if you belong to the association. If you are ABC Realty and you might be a one-person company, a broker, somebody who owns your own company, but you have chosen not to belong to the local, state, or national associations.
Got it.
Okay.
How long have you been doing this?
22 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it seems like my whole life.
And what brought you into it? Did you always want to, family business? Was it something you said that you decided to do at some point in your life, ready for a change?
That's interesting because it came on by chance. I was working at a local racquetball club on the west side in Greece, and they were closing down. And one of the members there was a broker owner of a real estate company. And he said to me, "What are you going to do when you don't have a job anymore?" I don't know. So he suggested that I go into real estate. So that's why I'm here today. Sal Trippi, originally of Coldwell Banker, was my broker, taught me almost everything that I know, and I give him credit all the time for where I am today.
Well, that's a great story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Racquetball club, huh? That's quite a different
I played
venue.
racquetball. I organized tournaments and schedules and sold memberships. So I guess it was a real easy shoe-in to what I do today, working with people and making their lives easier, no matter if it was racquetball or buying or selling a home.
Now, you're the lady with the moving van, right?
Yes, I am.
Everyone, when I mentioned that you were coming in today, people around the building, oh, yeah, the lady with the moving van. Where did that all come from? And what is the purpose? I think I can figure it out. Even I can figure it out. But why don't you tell me in your words?
Well, several years ago, I followed a professional trainer, Howard Britton, and a lot of his real estate top producers had a moving truck across the country. I thought it was the greatest idea I'd ever heard of, but I didn't quite know where I was going to be able to park the 16-foot moving truck. So once I found the parking space that I could do, I immediately got the truck. We've had it now for 7 years. It is free to our clients, our buyers, and our sellers. We also have a lot of nonprofits that use it, such as Ronald McDonald House, Golisano Children's Hospital. So we've helped raise lots of money over the last 7 years through those organizations with our truck.
So if I buy a house from you, I can use your truck to move my stuff?
Yes.
Okay, and how many deals do you get extra? Do you find you get increased deals, like people say, I want to buy a house through you, Carolyn, because you have a moving truck. It'll save me X amount of dollars when I close.
Yes, that has happened.
Okay, that's a good. That's what I was looking for. You've got a marketing tool there, and that's what I was curious about on the business end.
I'm sure you don't consider it a gimmick, and I don't mean to diminish the importance of it, but it is a unique tool that you have.
Yeah,
It's just another way of marketing and advertising and giving something back to
you're
our
using it
clients
for donating.
and the community.
Yeah.
The schools in Greece use it a lot with their school plays, moving equipment back and forth. So it helps a lot of people.
Oh, that's good. I have a quick question.
Yeah, go ahead. I was just going to reintroduce Carolyn
Okay.
Stifler here. She's the president of the GRAR, the Greater Rochester Association of Realtors.
Just curious, because I remember back in the 90s, I think there was about 5,000 agents that belonged to the Greater Rochester Association of Realtors. Could you tell me about how much there is now? Just curious how the trend has gone from a realtor's perspective.
I came into the business in 1989, and you're right, there was about 5,000 agents at that time. Today, and that is fresh off the press this morning, is 2,610.
Okay, what is that telling me in real terms then? There's half the members of real estate agents now. Does that mean that the trend is people don't want to go into that business? Does that mean there's less homes to sell? Does that mean there's more people that take more of the market share? Or less people that take more of the market share, so there's not as many agents. Do you know what I mean? Or is it too difficult of a business nowadays, so less people want to be along and do it?
I don't think that's it. I think before, when we had about 5,000, if you remember when Kodak did their layoffs and other companies as well, they gave what is called retraining dollars, and it was one way that a person might start a new business for, part of that retraining dollars, and that could have been $1,000. As a matter of fact, we do have a sales qualifying course coming up May 16th through May 27th. It's a 2-week full day session.
Okay.
So if you are out there and you're thinking that you want to be an agent, there is a session starting, and you can also take the complete course online.
Oh.
So you can be online or on site.
Do you find there are a lot of young people who are trying realty as their first career, first thing out of the blocks? Because, in your situation, as you said, you were kind of led to it after you lost a position you had.
Yes, that's true. And as a matter of fact, we have a new organized group in our association called the Young Realtors Network. And that started since my presidency started. That was one of my goals, was to have a young professional network locally with the realtors, because we have it in the state level and we have it in the national level. So that is off the ground and running. We have a lot of new young agents, and yes, they are coming into the business as their first job.
How can you spot when an agent's going to be good, a young agent that you bump into? That person's going to make it?
Good question.
That is a good question, because I see a lot of new agents coming through the association taking their classes. If you see in the class somebody sitting there not properly dressed, with a baseball cap on, something of that nature, you may look at them and say, wow, I'm not sure that person's going to make it. But really, you're not sure what their niche is going to be. They may be there representing property management or something, and they don't need to be dressed in a shirt and tie to get the day's job done. So it's hard to tell. It's each person's motivation, their ethics, their honesty, and why they chose to come into the business.
So you can't get a quick first read on someone. It's probably just as well, because as you say, they could just be looking for their niche.
Like, I look like an ethical guy, but I'm really not. You know what I mean? Just by first.
I was going to say the other way. You don't look ethical at all.
I don't.
But you are.
I'm not going there.
Well, it's a good move. Good move.
not
Carolyn
safe.
Stifler from the GRAR, the Greater Rochester Association of Realtors, is with us on Property Source Radio here on Sports Radio 950 ESPN. We're talking about younger realtors, people just getting into the business. I'm sure that they come with the knowledge that social networking is going to be a huge part of how they're going to sell homes.
Absolutely.
Are you hip to that?
I'm hip to that. Yes,
Yeah.
I am. I've served on the technology committee at a local level and the New York State level. So I try to make sure that I'm on top of everything that's going on, whether it be into my own age group or the young professionals.
So are you on Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff?
All that stuff, yes. Yes, I am.
Doesn't it amaze you how these young people are so shocked that people our age even know what's going on? I mean, I still get people say, "You text?" Well, yeah.
I love texting.
Yeah.
I can be, in a group setting where I could not take a phone call, but I could easily return a text. And sometimes our job is literally urgent. There may be a closing going on and somebody have a question and they really can't wait for your meeting to get over. So with technology today, it helps just keep us move business along.
See, this is why she's up there near the top, huh?
I think so. That explains everything now.
I completely agree
Yeah.
because that applies to every business everywhere. You have to go where the technology is going. And I worked in cell phones for a long time.
Right.
And I remember, being on the phone in customer service and explaining to older people who had tons of questions like, this is what you need to do. Because what you're doing right now is going to become obsolete very soon. And you're going to be, you're just going to miss out.
Yeah.
Talking about smartphones, and you must have a whole variety of apps that are available now.
Oh, there are so many. I'd like to tell you about the newest one that we have at the association. And in the next couple of weeks in the Democrat and Chronicle on page 5, you're going to see our new QR code.
Oh, yeah, that's a squiggly little...
It's a funny look.
Yes.
It looks like a permanent marker that went wild.
It looks like a barcode, Pat.
Okay.
Yes.
You see these all over the place now. You see them. There's an example of one right there.
Okay.
And your smartphone reads it and gives you the information you need.
Well, what it's going to do is direct you to our new mobile app. And I'm going to give you the site so that you know what it is if you have a smartphone. It is nys.curio, Kurio .mobi. So this is for the smartphones. This will give the public online information to all of our listings, agents, open houses. And if you don't have a smartphone and you want to go on your computer, then the website that you want to use is www.homesteadnet.com. You can find all of our realtors listed there. You'll find some of them have specialties, whether they do sign language, whether they work with investors, whether they have special designations for seniors, commercial property, and etc.
I was poking around in that homesteadnet.com site last night. A great opportunity for you to find homes for sale. You can find a realtor. It's a lot of great information on there. And we'll put the link to both those sites on propertysourceradio.com on Jeff's blog page. So if you want to find them there, just go to propertysourceradio.com and go to the blog page. All right, going to take a quick break here, Carolyn. I want to ask you about City Living Sundays. The second one is coming up tomorrow. But first, a little quick break here. We'll step aside. It's Property Source Radio every Saturday morning. We're here till 10 on Sports Radio 950 ESPN.